In this video, we'll go over verification requirements in the KORONA system. These verifications are interactable pop-ups that appear when adding specified items to the receipt, returning those items, or both. Once you've logged into KORONA Studio, to take a look at the verification requirements, you'll want to go down to Settings in the bottom left. And if you don't already have the option listed here, you can add it using the Edit Menu Entries page. I'm going to select Verification Requirements here. You'll see I have 4 different ones set up. But to show you the different options and how we can customize this, I'm going to select New. I'll give it an automatic number. You can name it. And these are the different verification types. We have OK, so it'll give you the question that you put in here, and then they'll be able to acknowledge it by selecting OK. We have a minimal age requirement. So it may ask, of course, when is the customer's birthday? And then it'll actually have a date on the screen that you can input, and then it will have to match up to whatever minimum age you set here. And then if it doesn't match up to that age, it will say whatever text that you want to say, like not old enough or something along those lines. Another option for verification is an option selection. So maybe you don't want it to be a yes or no scenario, or maybe you want more than one option for them to select. You can add them here. So maybe yes, no, maybe whatever you want to put in there. And that way they'll have all those options. And of course you can opt for the yes or no answer as well. So I can show you some of the ones I've created here and possible scenarios. We have a kind of a free keychain setup. This is a OK verification type. Just ask the customer if they want a free keychain with their purchase. And then we have like a minimum age requirement of 18. Pretty self-explanatory there. This one here I have for a seal integrity of the item. So maybe this item is especially sensitive, and maybe some people have been breaking the seal on it, and you don't want to be selling this item to customers if the seal has been broken and it's unsafe to sell. So in this specific scenario, I've created a couple different options instead of yes and no. I've put together a question that's both in English and Spanish, because maybe one of my employees primarily speaks Spanish, so I want to accommodate that and give them the yes or no with the Spanish translation, of course, as well. Last one would be a yes or no prompt. But for this one, it's just going to say, do you remember to ask them if they would like to purchase a raffle ticket as well? You can select yes or no. And if you select no, it'll say, try to make a habit of doing so for all newly added products. So in this situation, just a little reminder. All right. Now that we have all these different options, we can add the verification requirement to specific products, which is what would trigger these circumstances to happen. So if I go to my products list here, maybe I want to add that free keychain option or reminder to all of my Red Bull items. So I'll add a filter, and I can go to name, contains Red Bull, and I can do a mass edit now. And I can go to add verification requirements. I'm going to type in free keychain and select save. So now that's been added to all these Red Bull items, and we can move on to the example on the point of sale. Before I show you what this looks like at the point of sale, I also want to give you a couple bits of information about verification requirements. First, you can have multiple verification requirements on an item at a time. It'll just go through each of them one at a time as you click through them, and I'll show you that shortly here. Additionally, if you have multiple items on the receipt that have the same verification requirement, such as an offer for a free keychain, if you had previously added an item with that verification requirement, if you add another, it won't prompt again. So it will only do it on the first item that's added if it's the same verification requirement. Now, if I add this Red Bull item, which I have set up with 2 verification requirements, you'll see it goes to the first one where it reminds me to ask them if they like a free keychain. Select OK. And then it goes to the second one where it asks me if I remember to ask them if they'd like a purchase a raffle ticket as well. And if I were to select no, it shows you the response like we programmed prior, telling me to try to make a habit of doing so for all newly added products. But this is essentially what the verification requirements look like and how we set them up. This Corona POS Help Center video. For more information, please check the description down below, where you'll find our online manual page, as well as the contact information for our support center, and any other resources that'll help you get the most out of your Corona POS system.